first night in Sarara, there was a British couple who had been there, I think, for a couple of nights. So when you visit these and stay at these lodges, quite often, whoever the guests are, they'll sit and eat together. So we did with the woman who was managing the camp. She was delightful, and these two guests, and they chatted away. The woman was crazy about cheetahs. She said, if I could have a cheetah, I would have one. So I instantly had a fairly major disconnect with her because I couldn't imagine anyone who would take a wild animal as a pet. So anyway, it was a bit of a strange dinner, and I did not need to linger with them. So I went off to my magical cottage, and I crawled into bed, and I pulled the covers up around my chin, and I just listened to the sounds of the night. And I heard these rumbles. I knew what they were. That's how elephants talk to each other. They have a deep rumble that comes from their belly. And that's really, other than the non-body language, so body language, like the trunks and ears and use of their body is one way they speak. And trumpeting, which is how many of us understand how elephants speak. It's a loud blast on they do through their lungs and their trunks. And it's quite intimidating. But most of the time they just kind of rumble at each other. And I could hear this deep rumble. There'd be a rumble. Well, it's not a growl. I can't do elephant rumble. And then there'd be a pause. And then there'd be another rumble, which was in a different tone. And I realized I was listening. I was eavesdropping on a conversation. So I got out of bed and I went out to my porch and I looked down, and the light, there was a light on the water hole. And there were two massive bull elephants, kind of like old boys at the pub, just hanging out in the dark. The wife and the kids have gone home to bed, and they were going to sit there and drink as much as they wanted to and just enjoy each other's company and have a bit of an elephant rumble. So I watched them for a bit, and then I crawled back into bed. And I have to say, it was probably one of the best lullabies I ever had, to drift off to sleep. I was very tired. It'd been a long day and a very exciting day. And just reminded me of when I was a little kid, when your parents would be down the hall, you might be able to hear the tone of their voices. So it felt very safe because they were there. You wouldn't hear what they were saying, and it really didn't matter. You just knew that all was well with the world and life was good. That's what it was like.